Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake. You are tuned into the Talks and Crocs podcast. Thank you for listening and or watching, depending on what platform you're on. Of course, I am the host, and we have our co-hosts, Chris and Stacy.
Hola.
And
hello,
my waifu, Shawnee. Well, she's not really a waifu, but my wife, Shawnee. This is going to be a little bit of one of our impromptu episodes. Because I don't know, we kind of have topics, but we're not really for sure on them fully, I would say.
Sure.
Unless you really, I mean, we could go off what you said on Discord, which I'm good with that.
Let's go.
and I've got random questions.
Let's go.
Yo, let's go. Let's do it. I've also got some stuff too. Maybe we'll see what happens. First off, let's start like how we always do. How is everyone doing today?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Stellar.
Excited.
Nobody's bad. That's good.
The day before a holiday.
True. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We are recording this on a Wednesday to make sure we get you as the viewers and listeners a podcast to maybe drive to or whatever. Hopefully you're not watching videos and driving at the same time.
Not like Jacob does.
Shh. Don't tell my secrets. I listen to them while I'm driving.
Right.
I don't watch them. I promise.
Me too. I listen to them.
There's no evidence to the contrary.
Well, that insurance thing doesn't know I'm watching. So, I mean, I'm not watching. Chris's law enforcement friend, I'm not watching YouTube videos. I promise I'm only listening to them.
I download videos and listen to them in the background while I'm driving too, but
I
Me
do
too.
audiobooks.
I do audiobooks too.
Audiobooks.
Actually, I can get this on Audible for free. So
Yeah.
that's
I saw that. I told what I told you. Did I bring that up last podcast that Audible has overtaken everything in downloads right now for this podcast, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Because you would have
It's
thought
super
it'd be,
convenient.
yeah, you would have thought it would have been Podbean or not Podbean,
Spotify.
Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but no, Spotify is now number 2
Well,
for the download source.
for people like me who like to listen to audiobooks, when you finish a book and you don't
Yeah.
have another one downloaded that you're going to listen to, then it's like, oh, there's a new episode of the podcast. I'll go do that.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to switch platforms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a real good idea there. So everybody, if you like listening to audiobooks, head on over to Audible. We're on there, and you can listen to your audiobooks at the same time. Mm-hmm. For people like me that like to listen to some stuff on YouTube, we're also on YouTube, and you can pull us up on there. We have the audio version and the video version on the YouTube.
And Rumble.
Yep.
Well, it's slowly getting put on Rumble. Rumble's being real slow right now.
Well,
It's whatever, though.
Yeah.
All right.
you.
What's everybody's happy crappies for this? Since last time we recorded, so 4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost a week.
Yeah.
It's this week. It's this week's
Yeah.
Happy Crappy.
Yeah, we can go there. Who wants to go first? Should we make the guest go first? Put you on the spot, honey.
This goes over there.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
You're first.
Okay.
Good job. You pointed it out.
You could have
just gone with it.
You could have nose goes. I would have been like, oh, "What's going on?" And then I would have had to do it. Because I seem to always save myself for last and forget.
That was pretty funny.
Well, then we'll go counterclockwise, and you'll be next.
All right, sounds good to me.
Happy. I actually have two.
Woohoo.
So, my first one, I'm going to go backwards chronologically, was yesterday at work was a food day. It was really good. Food days at work, unless you like work at a food place, they're always so good.
She brought me snacks.
I did. I loaded up a plate and took it home. I was
Nice.
Either way,
like, that's a loud truck.
Yeah.
food days at work are usually good no matter where.
Yeah.
Considering we're not as close to the road.
Yeah, I know.
It's a loud truck.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, I was going to keep going, but it's your turn to talk.
Yeah. And then, ooh, to you too. And the other one was on Saturday. We went as a family to the Kiewit Luminarium in Omaha and met up with some of my high school friends and their families, and we had a lot of fun. It was a really good time. Just catching up with old friends that I haven't seen like in person and been able to talk to.
And I
In
now
a
have a
while.
new Pokemon Go friend.
My friend John, he's into Pokemon Go too.
Yeah, I was excited when I found that out.
Yeah.
Kylie was sitting there, what, are you playing Pokemon Go? And he goes, yep. I'm like, ooh, add me.
I feel that.
Fantastic.
Yep. We've been good friends since probably middle school. We just don't get together near as often as I would like, but it's one of those friendships that like you just pick up where you left off. And
Yep.
Those are
we've
great.
all got kids, and seeing them play together is really great.
That's awesome.
Oh, crappy. Probably that today at work went really slow.
I thought you were going to choose something else. Grandma.
She's out of the hospital.
I don't know, did she go in this past week, though?
Okay. Well, yeah, we can talk about that too.
I'm sorry. I'm forcing you a different crappy. You can say your crappy.
Yeah, no, my grandma was back in the hospital for the third time in a month. Just still trying to figure everything out. And then she got to go home yesterday afternoon, though. So they think that they're on the right treatment plan, and she was stable and just looking better and better. So he sent her home, and she was pretty happy about it.
I bet.
So
I don't think I know anybody that likes going to the hospital.
right.
Well, I mean, when I was at an EMT, there would be some elderly people that would just want to go, but that's because they were lonely.
Yeah.
So they'd call
Yeah.
the ambulance saying they need to go to the hospital, so they'd hang out in the ambulance and hang out with the people in the ER.
Wow.
Happened actually more often than you think it would.
That's an expensive social call.
Well, if they're on Medicare, it's paid for.
Yeah.
That $5,000 price tag of an ambulance is paid for.
Wow.
Yeah, it costs a lot.
Yeah.
So are you done then?
Yes.
I just don't want to take your thing. I'm sorry. I rerouted your crappy.
Maybe that was your crap. No,
Maybe.
probably not.
Happy. We had another food related one. We had our potluck at work on Monday. And that was amazing. Like we had all the maintenance and all the rebuilds show up, bring food. We all pretty much brought main dishes. I mean, there was some side stuff. Like I brought baked beans that I smoked and I have bacon in. It was phenomenal. It was the best baked beans in the world.
Oh, yeah. We have those to bring tomorrow, too.
Yeah, we're going to take that to your family's Thanksgiving because I'm not going to be able to eat all those baked beans.
Well, Mom was worried that there wouldn't be enough food. So I think between the brisket and the potatoes she's making and the turkey you're making
Yep.
and the beans and
Yep.
the corn,
I got to start that turkey like at 7
we'll be
o'clock.
okay.
I got to start that at 7 in the morning, so I need to be up by like 5:30 prepping that turkey.
What time do you expect it to be done?
It could take 4.5, 5 hours.
What time do you expect it to be done?
Noon. So maybe I need
Can
to
you
get it on
start
there
it
by
at
6. Yeah, that sounds better.
Where's what coming from?
It goes under the stage, son. My son is here as well, and he's on Shawnee's iPhone off to the side.
Trying to keep himself entertained. Where are you going?
It only goes so far, son.
Yeah, unplugged. You have to sit there.
So back to that. I ate only 2 plates of food, 1 plate of dessert, but it was so much that I was miserable. Like I piled it on. And this is funny to us at the time. We were just a bunch of guys. I was sitting there working on this machine, watching it run after I kind of fixed some stuff. And I'm like, oh, my back hurts and my belly hurts. My son's doing some funny stuff behind me. And I'm sitting there, it all hurts, Shawnee. So I'm like, oh, I got to kneel down, get rid of the pressure from the weight. And Nate's standing there. I'm like, I'm going to go tell my wife I know how she feels now. And he's like, yeah, watch you get slapped for that. So I'm saying it to you while we're on the podcast
So
on
that you don't
camera,
get
so I'm
slapped
safe. I'm in front of people. Put her down, son.
I'm showing them fun.
Okay, my dog is on the camera now. She doesn't
Yeah.
want to be.
We thought it would be mean to leave her in the car for however long this is.
Yeah, because we can say sometimes this is going to go for an hour, and then we go for 2 hours not realizing it.
Yeah.
True.
And this way we can keep an eye on her. If she needs to go to the bathroom, we can take her right out.
And then today also after work, we all met at a sports bar and grill just to kind of have food and talk and hang out, called Balls.
They've got good food.
Yep. And everybody was like, "You're not going to get any drinks or nothing?" I'm like, "Diet Coke's fine for me." I don't know why that blows people's minds. That's enough, buddy. Okay. The crappy though. Yesterday was crappy. I kept running into machines. Got stabbed by a cable. And then I hit my head once. So it was just a bunch of stupid machine calls after that, like the stupidest mistakes going on. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I'm here. I'm happy. What about y'all? Monsignor. And Monsignor Chris.
I'm going to start with the crappy
That's
because
the way they say it. Monsignor.
Monsignor.
I don't have a crappy, so that makes it easy.
Oh, cheater.
Right? Happy, boy, I don't know. I probably could name off a bunch of things that are happy.
Gwen?
So I had a pretty good shift at work, so I'm going to just go with that. We'll make it easy.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Not sponsored.
Too bad. I wish.
Right?
Because I'd be like, hey, I will take all of the cheese curds you guys are willing to give us.
Heard that.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ronan and Mom went to Culver's today.
Oh, really? What time?
I don't know. For lunch.
Oh. Then it might have been before you were there.
I was there.
Well, he's
Were you?
there.
I thought you were there at 3 today.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know him like you think you do.
It's probably, he told me a couple times.
Yeah. You're
Different times.
probably thinking of his Saturday
Yeah,
or
maybe.
Sunday.
That could be.
Saturday shift, I think, is 3 to close. And
After Thanksgiving.
yeah. But anyway. So, you want my happy crappy now?
Sure.
So, I don't have a crappy either. I've had a really good week. Now, I've done a lot of driving.
Hold up. Nope. Not that one. Not that one either. There we go.
You really need to get those labeled.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
probably would help. But it wouldn't be as comedic.
That's true. It's a new adventure every time.
We're going on an adventure.
But I had to drive a lot for work, but I got so much done in the last 3 days. I did 2 server installs this week. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday I did a server install. I drove to Palmer, Kansas on Monday, and that went smoothly, and everything's working great out there, so yay. And then I went to Gibbon, Nebraska, and took care of a server out there and got that replaced, and that worked out really well. And today I got a lot of stuff done at work, and I'm not working Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, and I'm not working Friday. And Friday we're going to go look at houses in Omaha, so...
It's exciting. You have a few picked out to look at?
Yeah, we have 4 of them that we're going to go look at. So
That's fun.
I'm so excited. Just in a really good mood.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a really good week. I can't complain.
Right.
It's happy all around.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not every week you can say that.
No. Most weeks I can't say that.
Right.
But this week I definitely can.
That's very good.
Yeah.
You said that you were doing a lot of driving, but you got a lot done. And I was like, I hope not while you're driving.
Well, no. No.
You about scared the crud out of me, lady. Yeah, well, Zach put us on the schedule for in here. Yeah. Oh, unless you want to be on a podcast.
Yeah, her name's Gwen.
It's Gwen.
Shawnee had her in her car and didn't want to leave her outside the whole time. But what were you guys talking about? Because all of a sudden I saw a herb just pop up out of the corner of my eye. And I mean, like, Damon! No, it's a person. We're okay.
It's a good person.
We're okay. We're good.
No, we were just talking about the fact that I got a lot done, and
Oh,
Shawnee was
yeah.
saying, "I hope you didn't do it while you were driving." No,
Yeah, like watching YouTube or something.
no, no.
Learned a lot.
Hey, you can learn a lot from YouTube.
I know.
You
I
can.
know it's like can't figure something out. All right, let's go to the YouTube, see what's up.
Yeah,
you-
you definitely can. No, I just got both of those servers installed, and then I got a lot of stuff done today, and just so much stuff done this week, and some weeks I feel like I'm not getting anything done, and I'm getting interrupted all the time. But I only had a few phone calls today. Had a couple yesterday. Just generally a good week.
Is this a exercise?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Well, my science teacher in high school would be like, all right, if you guys are getting bored, you got to do finger exercises. Stay awake.
Really?
Yeah, he said, do this or stand up. You decide. Where'd the dog go?
she followed Maddie.
Hopefully she's staying out of the candy.
Yeah, no.
Nom, nom, nom.
That would be bad.
That would be
Right.
bad.
Goodness.
Update on our, I guess, podcast stats, unless you weren't done. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good.
I'm all ADD moment right now.
You're fine.
Scattered.
Yeah, a little bit, especially after getting scared. So last month we had a total of 83 downloads. I'm going to tell you we're going in the right direction. We must be because we're at 97 right now. We're not even all the way through yet
Nice. And that's for the month?
for the month.
Nice.
So we're slowly increasing, but also something I found interesting. We are more international now. We are downloads in Ireland, the United Kingdom, and Mother Russia. So a guy at work found out about that, and he's got this joke going around that I'm Russian. He's like, so you're comrades, huh?
Dos Padonia.
Why does he think you're Russian?
Because on my genetic test from Ancestry.com, it showed Russian was one of
Did
them.
it
Like
really?
12, it's like 12 or 15%.
Really?
Yep,
I don't remember that. Okay.
it does. I promise.
I believe you. I just don't remember it.
And the majority of the rest is Nordic region, and then France and Canadian. I'm not happy about the Canadian one or French.
Hey.
Well, you were
I
it's
got you. I got
it's probably a French Canadian. A
A.
There's no Canada like French
Canada.
Hi.
What
It's from a show that we shouldn't talk about on this podcast.
is that a
In-
letter Kenny or
No,
okay.
No.
It's South Park.
Oh, okay. Where
I love
the
how no.
where the mouse? Brr, brr, brr,
Yeah, they
brr.
had floppy-headed Canadians.
Floppy
Yeah.
headed Canadian.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, my mom used to let me watch that as a little kid.
Oh my
Up
gosh.
until my brother yelled, "You killed Kenny," and as like a first grader, I finished it, and then that was the last straw somehow.
Yeah, my mom would not let us watch that show.
Probably a good idea. I don't recommend that for chillins.
Yeah, it's not a good idea for kids to watch that.
Not at all. So let's move into wacky questions or fun questions or serious questions, whatever you got. I know you said you looked some up, Stacy.
I got 3 of them today.
Sweet. I'm gonna go look at my dog real quick.
Okay.
You guys go ahead. Oh, she's
Okay.
right here. We're good.
Look up your dog.
Hello, dog. All right.
Okay.
I got you a prize.
So the first question is, what is a weird smell that you really enjoy?
I got to answer this right away. Brand new diesel engine running for the first time. The exhaust fumes. I love that smell. Always have ever since I worked at John Deere.
I like sawdust. Like if I worked in a carpenter shop or something like that, like that'd be in heaven.
I like that smell too.
Okay, so maybe it's not that weird, but
Well, I'm kind of weird.
I think we're all weird on
I-
this pod
I'm-
for sure.
I also really like the smell of cedar wood.
oh yeah,
Like I had hamsters and I love the smell of their cedar chips.
aromatic cedar.
Although I think cedar's actually toxic for hamsters, so they don't use it anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I
But-
know it is for lizards.
Yeah, I think it's actually toxic, so I don't think they use it anymore. It's probably why our hamsters didn't live very long because we use
Aw.
cedar bedding. But
Sad.
my other weird smell that I really like is new book smell. And there's another one that Chris also likes, but I'll let him say it.
New video game smell? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that it's like a plastic.
well, like opening that case up
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
first time.
That's it right
Yeah, I
there.
got you. I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Oh, I have another one. We have a laser jet. We have a laser jet printer at work, and I just like the way it smells when it prints things.
Right.
Oh, yes. I remember old copiers in the 80s, the smell that they had. I like that smell too.
Gwen?
What?
She's good. She stopped at the door and like, what? You shut the door? You're not staying around?
She's like, but I have more places to explore.
Oh, so printers. Once you print off a whole bunch of stuff at the same time, and then that heat from that paper, that smell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
Is that what
I
you're
like
talking
to
about?
stand like in front of the printer while it's printing, and it just like wafts it out. I don't know why. I just like that smell.
I think that I could go through several smells, so this could be a while.
Give us your top 5.
I don't know if I could rate them. That'd be crazy.
Or just give us 5.
Bleach, gun oil.
Bleach?
I love the smell
I
of
hate
bleach.
the smell of bleach. Yuck.
The oil I use to sharpen knives.
Okay.
I can think of another one that you like.
Video game smell. New book smell. Mm-hmm. Not so keen on new car smell.
Or leather.
I don't know, leather's all right.
Well, like new leather, like in a car.
You like gasoline smell too.
I do like gasoline smell.
Which I'm like, no.
Hi.
You weren't huffing it when you were
No,
younger.
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, because that's what some people are going to think.
Right now, no. I like the smell when it's going to snow, but it is not snowing.
Oh, yeah, the smell of snow.
That
yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
quiet pre-snow smell.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a smell in the air when it's going to snow.
WD-40, but that's because I was a mechanic forever. And
I do like the smell of
Yeah.
the 40.
you just get adjusted to it, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, WD-40.
That monster truck we rode in, we went to the monster truck show, reminded me of my old Power Wagon, how it used to smell.
Good.
I miss that smell
Yeah.
of like old pickup.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like old pickup that had the WD-40 oil cake in the engine. It's just that smell, you know.
We went through the car wash earlier, and like there's the multicolored foam.
Yeah.
I like the smell of that. It's like a minty bubble gum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like bubblegum smell. I like the mint, but not the bubblegum, because I was like, my Aunt Kim and Uncle Sam used to always buy like the Hubba Bubba stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh. Just falls apart after a while and just gross. Just my opinion. I can
Okay.
tell it's not your opinion by the face you were giving
I'll
me.
say I love that gum.
Yeah.
But I hated that it would just get
Kind of
disgusting.
start to dissolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fruit Stripes gum is the same way. Like when you first start chewing it, it's got a great fruit flavor,
And then
and you're
it's-
chewing it, and then all of a sudden it loses its flavor, and then it starts to come apart. And
Yeah.
It's really gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
I also don't like the gums that like lose their flavor really quick, and they get like really hard and rubbery.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all the smells that we like, and well, a little bit of one that we dislike?
I could still list more, but we're not going there. It'll take forever.
Chainsaw. There we go. I'll say that one too. Chainsaw. I like that.
Paintballs. The smell of paintballs.
I've never smelled a paintball.
When you open the package, you start loading them into the hopper. Yeah, they have a very plastic-ish chemical smell. It's very unique.
Interesting. I'm sure she doesn't want to be on the podcast. Guinevere, you got anything to say?
She's like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that
So if you
out.
get on the YouTube right now, you'll see my dog. She's a purebred Jack Russell. She's awesome.
You okay?
And she's very excited, apparently.
Oh yeah. Ronan had to show Shawnee something he's doing on her phone.
He's playing my favorite game.
Okay.
Oh. Any other weird questions or rando questions? I didn't look any up. I apologize once again.
I've got another random question. Who was your favorite teacher and why?
Oh man, that's a hard.
Was it your principal? Yeah, nerd. There's a funny story to go with that. I'll tell that real quick. Your mic's not picking you up very well, Shawnee.
Because Gwen's here. She's looking for a visit.
So the reason I said her principal and nerd is we went to Fuji's one time, and as we were walking out, her old high school principal, was sitting there. It's like, oh, hey, Shawnee, how's it going? You know, and this has been a few years since high school.
Yeah.
And he remembered
7
you.
years at least.
So we get outside, and she's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, effing nerd. I yelled it.
Not nice.
It was funny, though. You even laughed.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Your favorite teacher?
Oh, okay. Oh, man. That's a tough one. I liked a lot of my teachers. I was one of those weirdos that liked school.
Nerd.
You know what? Being a nerd is not a bad thing. I am okay with it.
I like school too.
Yeah, me
I
three.
think I have two favorites that really stand out in my mind. One was Mrs. Wayarda. She was my creative writing teacher. So I really liked that one. I wrote like a 50-page novella about
Nice.
What's a novella?
it's just like a short novel.
It's
Okay.
yeah, it's like it's a novel that's like less than 100 pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Muy interesante.
Yeah. It was about I can't even remember her name anymore. There's this real person that lived back in like medieval times maybe or Victorian, I don't know. Who she was a countess and she would like bathe in the blood of virgins.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and milk.
Yeah, it was about
And
her.
milk. I know who you're talking about.
So yeah, it was a fictional one about her.
I think I remember this story.
Probably. I did
I
it.
think you read it to me.
Yeah. I was either a junior or senior in high school.
Huh.
My other one was Mr. Stewart, 7th grade. Stewart.
Scared. Scared.
Clearly, it's not showing Stacy or Chris.
No, it's not right now because I'm talking. But yeah, 7th grade science teacher. But he was also a big part of the SOAR program, which is Summer Orientation About Rivers. And I participated in that a lot as a camper when I was young and then as a peer leader when I got older. So he was a big influence in that program as well.
That's cool.
Elizabeth Bathory. The name of
Yeah.
the countess. I had to look it up.
Oh, yep. I got you.
Gosh, it's been so many years since I've looked at that. I bet I could go back and rewrite it. And be better. I don't know.
Say, my favorite teacher would have been my science teacher, Mr. Friskup. And I will never call him by his first name because it's just not right. We would try to during school, and he would get super mad at us. It's Dudley. But I'll just call him Mr. Friskup even now, even though it's been however many years since we graduated.
Such an
Don't you
awesome.
sometimes call him Frisky?
Yeah, we'd call him Mr. Frisky too.
That's awesome.
That's an awesome first name, though,
right.
Dudley.
Dudley.
Yeah. He was probably one of the bigger influences on how I got into more of a scientific field on stuff. Like my field's big on electricity and all that, but originally I was going to college to be a biology teacher. That was heavily on his influence. But he also did our rifle club for school. Also did our rifle club for school, and he did our quiz bowls, and he was a very intelligent person. Looked like Mark Twain.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like Mark Twain. So yeah, we were one of the small schools that actually had guns at our school,
That's
and
fun.
nobody cared. I mean, I don't think they still do. No, they still hold rifle club after school, so people still have them in the parking lot. Small towns,
Small towns.
way different from your big stuff.
Yeah.
Small town Midwest.
Yeah, small town
Yeah.
Midwest.
It's probably not that way on the coasts. I almost said something else.
All right, anybody else got their favorite teacher?
My third grade, I believe she was my third grade teacher, was Mrs. Piper. She was awesome.
Did she have some peppers? She pickled?
No.
Peter Piper
Picked?
picked a peck of
Yeah,
pickled
no,
peppers.
I know.
Okay.
Pick a pickled
No,
peppers,
she's just
Peter
a
Piper
really
picked.
cool lady. Had just awesome games that we played.
That's why you liked her.
Yep, exactly.
James.
She had this crazy. I still don't know the name of this game. I should have asked. I should ask her. She's still alive. Anyway, she had this really cool exploration game that was basically set the same time period as the Mayflower, where you leave Europe, you go to the Americas. But she had this giant board that she would track the ships on, and then you get to the lands, and you'd be on different ships, so you could explore different lands of the Americas. And there were random things that happened. Yeah, it was really neat. Really cool game.
This sounds
Fast.
fun.
It was pretty sweet, yeah. I'll have to ask her.
I'd play that.
Right?
Yeah, I would do it too. Any kind of like exploration stuff, I'm in.
That's cool. So my favorite teacher was my sixth grade. Good Lord, I can't talk. Sixth grade science teacher. She was also my homeroom teacher. Her name was Miss Smith. She wasn't married, I don't believe, and she was just an awesome science teacher. And she actually gave me a nickname because I was always like I was one of the only kids that always did the homework and was excited about doing the homework and excited about doing, all the nerdy stuff because, yes, I'm a gigantic nerd. But so she called me Stace Machine was the nickname that she gave me.
Wow.
Yep. But she was awesome. I loved her.
I thought you were homeschooled.
That was for like 2 years, dear.
And you rode on a special bus when you were homeschooled?
No, I did not ride on a special bus.
Those
when I
are
was
lies.
homeschooled.
I ride a little yellow bus who wants us to scoop 'em up. Come on, scoop us up. Come on, scoop us up.
I don't know that song, but it's awesome.
So, how big does everyone think Plymouth Rock was, or is?
I can't answer. You've already told me.
Oh,
It's probably not as big as I think it is.
well, how big do you think it is?
20 foot?
No idea. I'm not good at that kind of.
It's probably smaller than this table,
Nice.
Interesting.
which it kind of blew my mind when I saw that. And there's a picture like, by the way, this is Plymouth Rock, and it is small. I'm like, it's like talked up so big when we're all growing up as kids. So the Pilgrims came, landed at Plymouth Rock. So you think it's this giant monstrosity of a boulder. No, it's not.
Bink. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's going off.
We could hear you whispering, Ronan.
Adding to my zoo.
Nice.
Oh. So, anybody else got fun stuff?
I've got another fictional question. Another question. It's about something fictional. Can you tell?
Okay.
Okay. What is a fictional food you would most like to try?
Oh, wow.
Pizza from the Goofy movie. Just that cheese, man. Mm-hmm. That looks so good.
I could probably set you up with that. I know a place.
Sweet. Okay. Anybody else? Or any sandwiches Scooby and Shaggy make.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You said food, right?
Yeah.
So that includes drinks.
Yeah. Fictional foods and drinks.
I guess the first easy one for me is blue milk from Star Wars.
Okay.
I'm just, I hate that scene so much. It's so gross.
In New Hope or in...
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the sequels.
That's green milk.
Where,
Oh, is it? It
Yeah.
looked bluish
where
to me.
crotchety Luke goes...
Yeah, it just goes right up there and just like, bleh.
Right.
And it's all over his face. Ugh. Have you seen it, Shawnee?
No, but it sounds gross.
You're going to watch it. It's going to happen.
See, my thing is, I don't know if these are like real foods or not in other countries. It just sounds fictional to me.
Okay.
That's okay.
But like butterbeer,
That's a real thing.
pumpkin juice,
That's a real thing.
like I think they're real, but you don't find them here.
You can find butterbeer at Hy-Vee.
Okay, I don't know if it's like authentic though.
It's good. Yeah, I've had it.
it's more like a soda pop.
Yeah.
Then there's their butter beer that one of the breweries made for the Harry Potter thing. And was it Omaha that we went?
Lincoln, yeah, because
Lincoln.
it was at the children's.
Or like a lot of their like the Honeyduke sweets that sound just absolutely nuts. Like
Is this
chocolate,
all Harry Potter stuff you're going off of?
of course.
Okay.
But like the chocolate frogs, like actual, like they've got a spell, they jump away.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Fire whiskey.
Fire whiskey? Yes. I just know it as fire water.
No, fire whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
There's like those other, I don't know, some kind of candy that makes you sound like a monkey or an elephant or a
Oh,
lion,
yeah,
or,
that's like what-
steam come out of your ears.
Is that the second movie?
No,
I thought that was the second movie. No, that's the third movie.
no.
Yeah. Where they're all up in the like Gryffindor rooms, the boys are, and they're
Is it the third one?
yeah.
Are you sure?
It's either the second or the third. It ain't the first or the fourth or fifth. Okay, we're going on Harry Potter nerding out. Okay. Is that the last of your fictional stuff?
I believe you.
So,
Well, yeah, but it's not real.
yeah, but it's not going to jump.
Well, of course.
It doesn't have an enchantment on it.
Because it's not magic.
She's talking about the enchanted chocolate frogs.
What if it moves while it's going down your throat?
Then that would be gross.
Yeah.
It'd be a little weird.
I would get you a cockroach cluster.
Well, the fictional food that I would really like to try is the buffet of food that they imagine into existence in Hook. Have you guys ever seen?
Oh, with
Hook?
Robin Williams.
Yes.
I love that movie. Shawnee hasn't seen it. She needs to see it.
Oh, it's
It is
awesome.
a great movie.
When they imagine the food, they have like all the dishes out and stuff, and then they believe in the food, and then the food exists.
What?
And it's like super colorful and just crazy looking stuff. Yeah, I'd love to try the super colorful
Yeah.
food from Hook.
What about the Willy Wonka, like the place that looks like a garden or whatever?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
All the
But
trees.
everything is edible.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm pretty sure they could do that now.
I'm sure they could. And I'm sure it was real when they shot it, but like for that to be an actual thing, that
I would dip
commonplace.
my face in the chocolate river and just
you would
Suck
be the
that
one
down.
that gets sucked up by the
and right in the
big
tube.
tube.
Right in the tube.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll throw out a question there.
That's pretty funny.
What Christian song got stuck in your head this week?
With arms wide open.
Oh, Creed?
Yeah. I mean, no, but I just had to go.
That's Creed.
I know this, yeah.
My favorite band.
Anybody?
I don't get songs stuck in my head usually.
Interesting.
I'll fly through
Yeah.
like 80 of them in a day.
Yeah, if I get a song stuck in my head, it has to be a song that I know really well to get stuck in my head. And then if I sing it at all, then it goes away. So I don't have that problem.
Okay. So you don't experience that, like when people are like, I've had this song stuck in my head all day. You're like, I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I can listen to the same song over and over again and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
I guess I have one that I've actively been trying to listen to over and over so that I can get it, so
Yep.
that I can sing it, and it's kind of fast paced.
It's Brandon Lake, his new album.
Yeah, on his new album, there's one called Count 'Em. So I've been
Very
like
fast.
purposely been trying to listen to it over and over again to get down, and that one got stuck in my head like when I wasn't even listening to it.
What? Oh, that's Ronan humming.
Ronan's humming.
Okay. I'm like,
Believer?
okay, now we got demons here.
What were you humming? What were you humming?
I was doing Can't Count 'Em.
Oh, yeah, he was singing Count 'Em.
Okay. The one that I had in my head all day, well, not all day, but it was on the drive in. What's that one that we did where it was like the children helper conference here that we all got like stuck on a loop in? If Therese didn't step on, we probably would have been there for another 30 minutes.
'Cause you got a lion inside
Yeah,
of
that
your
one.
lungs. Get
Yep.
up and praise the
Yeah.
Lord.
I was sitting there and I love that song.
Yeah.
Good song.
Great song.
Yeah.
I don't know, were you guys at
like-
that conference?
No.
That was the weekend of Great Plains Game
Right.
Festival.
Oh, yeah.
We were playing games.
Yeah.
Like it was Dalton and Freddie and those guys up there on stage doing that song. And we got stuck in that loop.
And it just kept building.
Yeah, it
Oh,
kept
nice.
like they started out kind of like calm with it and just kept building and building and building. I'm pretty sure if they
sweet.
kept going, Dalton would have lost his voice
Yeah. So
because it was
Teresa-
not stopping.
Yeah, Teresa had to step in.
Because like everybody from the entire conference was up there. It was like one of the biggest feelings of like Holy Spirit worship I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was
Like-
really powerful.
Everybody was streaming down their face, and if Teresa didn't step up there, I'm pretty sure we would have A, blown the speakers, and B, people would have lost their voice, and we would have kept going.
Yeah.
It was great. That was a powerful moment.
Yep.
I think that's another Brandon Lake one, isn't it? Or he sings it. He has a version of it.
Yeah.
I like his the most.
I had
Hold on.
Grown Up Christmas List by Amy Grant stuck on my head earlier.
Grown Up Christmas List? Is this not a good song?
It's a good song.
I mean, like appropriate.
It's Amy Grant. She's a Christian musician.
Is she? I've never heard of her. I apologize.
She was a Christian musician for a very long time, and then she went pop. Yeah, check it out sometime. I saw Amy Grant in concert way back in the day. She was amazing.
Yeah, I pulled her up. I don't even recognize her.
My mom sent me pictures of cats. I was like, what is my phone going off for? I got 3 notifications in a row. Like, what's going
I
on?
saw this Mexican street corn Cheetos
What?
at Walmart.
Really?
Yeah. So I took a picture of the bag and I was going to send it to your sister. Like, have you tried these? Are they any good?
I really want to try them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
They're at the South Walmart.
Well, they're probably at the North Walmart then, too.
Maybe.
Nose goes.
For
Getting us Mexican street Cheetos.
Right now?
Yeah.
right here, right now.
That's funny. Because if I would have lost, I would have hopped in my car and got them. I'd have been like, I'll be right back.
But like, I was just there. I don't really want to go back.
And I don't like going to Walmart.
I
so.
know. And it's just going to get crazier and crazier for the next 2 days. So
Oh, yes.
I'm like, I'm not going back there until at least Sunday.
Definitely don't do like I did when we were at her family's Thanksgiving and I decided I wanted pumpkin pie. And for some reason, I forgot it was Black Friday.
Oh, God.
And I walked in there to get pumpkin pie and Cool Whip.
Yep.
Cool Whip. And I stood in line for 2 hours for that pumpkin pie.
Well, I would have given up, honestly.
I'm like, no, I'm committed. I want this pie. And I am
would have
going to eat this
freaking
pie.
eaten that pie before I got to the register.
Walk up there, hand him an empty box. Well, where's the pie? I ate it.
It was a long wait.
Just scan it. I'll pay for it. It's all good.
I've done that
not
with
stealing
soda.
it.
I've done that with drinks.
Yeah,
But
at least you don't steal it, right?
yeah, unlike the AI thinking I'm stealing everything at the self checkout.
Ronan's double scanned 2 things tonight, so we had to have the lady come over and be like, he scanned it twice again. I'm so sorry. Two zebra enclosures.
2 zebra
2 for.
enclosures.
Wow.
So there's more zebras.
Okay.
I have a fun Black Friday story.
All right, let's,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and give it.
So long time ago, long story. I was going to a Walmart to get a Care Bear. They had, supposedly there was a lucky Care Bear in that Black Friday. So I was like, I'm going to go get it for somebody. So I went at 6 o'clock in the morning, waited. They brought the pallet out, cut it open, and people were going up there and like grabbing nicely, and I'm like, this is going to take so long.
Did you shove your way in?
I jumped right in the middle of that pallet and I just started chucking bears out. Got through it all. Not a darn one.
Oh, no.
I was so not happy.
So you're looking for a Care Bear in the giant pallet of bears.
Yeah. And they were, normal sized teddy bear or stuffed animals. And they didn't have the luckies at all. I was so not happy.
Stop it.
So my only Black Friday story is when I was working at
Don't
Menards.
build anything else, please. Thank
And
you.
it was the only Black Friday I've worked in retail. And I'm sitting there waiting. We like lined up the shopping carts in the aisle so that we could kind of funnel people. Mm-hmm. And our general manager goes up to open the doors, and as soon as he opens them, he disappears.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
He just gets like sucked out in the crowd somehow. They tried looking for him on the cameras, and he showed back up like 3 hours later. He's like, I opened the doors. I don't know where I went. He's like, I was gone.
I disappeared.
I'm like, yeah. I was watching. You just boom, gone. And people coming in, mad dashing, and Shawnee come in, I grabbed her, I'm like, all right, go down the aisle this way, then you'll make it all the way around to where you got to go. So
I already knew where I was going because I came in like at the end of the day on Wednesday before they closed and like scouted out where all of the things were because they're so nice and they send out their specials and everything beforehand. So I was like, okay, I want this and this and this and this. That's it. So I had a game plan, and I was like, went around the outside of the store, grab, went to the gardens department.
Because
to
Lisa
check out.
wasn't getting anybody out there. It was her friend from high school, Lisa, was running that register. Nobody was going out there.
So I was the first one out. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was done.
Yeah, I don't like Black Friday shopping. When I was a kid, it wasn't bad. Like in the 80s, I went with my grandma Black Friday shopping, and it was chill. Like it didn't start until like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, which was way early for the malls and stuff to open. And we'd go in, and they'd have their Black Friday sales up, and people were just super chill, and there weren't a lot of people, and they'd just go get their stuff, and they'd take it up to the checkout, and then when I became a teenager, it got worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, no, thank you. I've gone a few times with people.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I don't like the crowds. I don't like the crazy people grabbing things and just being insane.
Or like being really rude.
Yeah.
Like straight up body check people and grab stuff out of other people's carts. I've seen all of that. And it's, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane.
I wanted to get on the intercom at Menards and go round one, ready, fight. But they won't let me do it.
That's
But it would have been awesome. 'Cause there are people, like, I swear, they just throw punches. Just go at it.
There's crazy videos that come out every year now of people that are, like, crashing through doors and attacking people and
terrible.
beating people up and
They're
stuff.
not really there to shop. Yeah.
No.
But honestly, this year, if it's not groceries on sale, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's what really needs to be. That would really bring people in. All right, groceries are half off. Crowd.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We had people climbing the fence at Menards trying to get in early. We caught them and kicked them back out. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yep. We caught them like 2 hours before because I had to be there like 3 hours before opening to help.
I remember.
Yeah, we caught them and kicked them back out. Hi, Gwen. I got little beady eyes looking up at me.
She doesn't have beady eyes. They're soulful.
The old fart.
Hi.
She's 11.
Girl.
So on Discord, you brought up false prophets. Mm-hmm. What led you to bring that topic up, Monsieur Chris?
Through a series of conversations, we've been talking about people who say they are pastors or priests and say that they are doing the Lord's work, and sometimes they're just cons or straight up liars.
Yeah.
Okay. Want to elaborate?
I mean, I don't really have to elaborate very much. There's tons of them out there. I mean, how many televangelists were not really? I mean, they may have been pastors, but they were in it for the Lord's work. Mm-hmm. They were in it for large stacks of cash.
Yeah.
Like maybe it started out with good intentions, but it evolved into something that was not good.
Yeah. And I think I've talked before about the pastor that was at one of the churches I went to as a kid that embezzled money. I think I talked about that. So, yeah. So I've known people that have been good talkers that have been very charismatic and have totally fooled everybody. Mm-hmm. So I know that they're out there. We have to be careful. I mean, even if you trust your pastor, you should still check their words. I mean,
yes.
And a lot of people, when they go to church, they just accept what the pastor says and they don't read their Bible. Mm-hmm. So you need to read your Bible and check what they're saying. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, we also brought up false teachers last week. One of the verses that we read that about hell was talking about false prophets, which is probably why it was fresh on his mind, partially. So,
and the passage for the false prophet deal where Jesus is teaching about it is Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 through 20. In the NLT, it labels it as the tree and its fruit. So I'll start off here. Beware of false prophets who come disguised as harmless sheep but are really vicious wolves. You can identify them by their fruit, that is, by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? A good tree produces good fruit, and a bad tree produces bad fruit. A good tree can't produce bad fruit, and a bad tree can't produce good fruit. So every tree that does not produce good fruit is chopped down and thrown into the fire. Yes, just as you can identify a tree by its fruit, so you can identify people by their actions.
Yeah.
That's the whole passage there.
Truth.
Yeah.
And then there's the story. I watched a YouTube video. I was going to post a link up on Discord. I forgot to. I got here and got busy. But it's like a 20-minute YouTube video of a guy talking about from Kings. And it's a story like from where the king of Jordan and the king of Israel, not Jordan, Judah, king of Judah and king of Israel, were going to go against another king to fight over a city that they said was theirs. And the one king was like, hey, my prophets, will I be victorious in this? And it's 400 prophets that were prophets to the king were saying, yeah, go, you'll be victorious. God's on your side. But then there's the one prophet, Micaiah, I want to say. That sounds right.
Let's go with yes.
Well, it's like really close to Micah, but it's like Micaiah or something like that.
Malachi?
No. I could kind of Google that probably. I know it's in Kings. But basically, he's the one just straight up telling him the truth. Like, hey, dude, you do this, you're going to die. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose. Israel's going to be scattered upon the mountains. And the king just didn't want to believe it. And he went and died. But his whole thing on that was all these false prophets were doing it. They were just yes people, telling you what you wanted to hear and not willing to give you the bad news just because you wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
So one big thing I got from that is the people that are actually profiting the truth or prophesying. There we go. Prophesying the truth will tell you the bad and are not afraid to say it to your face.
Right.
And if they're just going to be yes people and just tell you the good things and all good things, then you might want to start questioning that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just one way that a false prophet operates is just the good things. So if you're in a church that never preaches about hell or about any of the bad things that, can happen if you're not following God, then that's a red flag. I mean, it's good to know that God will bless you if you're going to be faithful, and how God works, about God's love and all of that. But like we talked about last week on the podcast about hell, it's really important to have those conversations too. So, yeah, I agree with that.
Indeedly do.
But then there's also false prophets that twist the word. And,
Oh, yeah.
And prophesy things that are not true, and just generally mislead people.
Like when they say, if you pray for riches, God's going to give you riches. If you pray for this, he's going to just give it to you.
Yeah.
Those kind of pastors. I don't like those because nowhere does it say it says if you keep praying for it, it will be given to you, but it's what you need.
Yeah.
Not what you're wanting necessarily.
And
Yeah.
it's not always direct.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
be totally
some
indirect.
people will be like, oh, I pray for it, I'm going to get it, and it's going to be like right here. But a lot of times it's a very roundabout kind of way that he's answering your prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, God does directly answer prayer, but yeah, it's not always just, oh, okay. God's not a magical Santa in the sky. It's not,
Right,
I'm
yeah.
going to write out this list and I'm going to pray for it, and then God's going to just deliver it exactly the way I asked for it.
Because maybe there is something that you absolutely need to learn through him answering your prayer.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm going to get you what you need, but you also need to learn this.
Yeah. And then there's also sometimes some of the things that we pray for are not things that are going to be productive for us.
Right.
And when God has something else for you that's better, he's going to answer that with a no, and he's going to give you something else, which is, a different answer than what some of the prosperity preachers will say. They'll say, you pray for it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes God will give you things that you pray for, even if it's going to be bad for you. He's like, well, you keep asking for it, I'm going to give it to you, and you're not going to like the results.
Like in 1 Samuel when the Israelites wanted a king, and he kept saying, hey, the king's going to do this to you.
Yep.
And they no, we want him anyway. All right, here's Saul. Have fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Why did I expect you to say that like, here's Johnny?
Here's Saul.
Thank you.
Are you happy now?
A little bit, yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Another example that I saw on TikTok going around, like a lot of people were mad at, like the Christian TikTokers, they were mad at these two people that were, I guess, pastoring. I don't know at what church. But this gal is going on about tithing. You give your money in tithing and you're going to get all these riches back. And then this guy comes up. He's like, oh, sister, I just got told by God if they give us an $1,100 check each, they're going to get all this. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
That is straight thievery and should be shunned by anybody if you're seeing that. Because that's just straight greed.
Right.
These people were showing. And like, what is it, the televangelists, they all did something extremely similar, and there's still people doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On the Tic Tacs.
On the Tic Tacs?
Tic Tacs.
No, I don't want to update right now, computer, another time.
There's a YouTube group that I watch, but I'm not subscribed to them. I'm bad. But anyway, the dad calls it Tic Tacs, which is hilarious. Because they do TikToks and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And he calls it TikTok. It's fun.
About ticky tacky.
Ticky tacky?
There's a song, the theme song of Weeds.
Of what?
Weeds.
Weeds.
The
Never seen it.
TV
TV
show.
show that
I've never seen it, but I know
never
what it is.
seen it. Yeah.
I have no idea what it is.
You'll have
Oh,
to
the
listen
camera
to
froze
theme
for a
song.
second.
Little houses made of ticky tacky. So they all look just the same.
That was kind of creepy. The way you looked at me, all the same. Okay.
Like, why?
Be gone, Satan! Smack on the
Why are
forehead.
whispers creepy?
That's hilarious.
I don't know, because maybe like horror movies made all whispers creepy.
Or like the metal voice that Ronan did earlier. The zebras. I can't do it, obviously.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's always been good at doing that.
He was doing that before he was actually singing.
Yeah, he just sit there in the back, in the back seat.
Since he was like 2.
Silly boy.
So talking about God gives you what you need, right? I'll tell my story from deer hunting. By the way, I did not get a deer myself, and I'll go into that. So I'm out there. I've been out multiple times since the last podcast trying to get a deer. Deer season's over. I'm not going to get one right now until maybe January when we go out river hunting. And I'm sitting there in the morning, Sunday. It's raining on me. I'm soaked already by sunlight come up because I go out, walk to where I'm going to hunt early.
Hi.
And I had a long day, huh?
Yeah.
But got out there early. I'm sitting there. I'm like, God, if you deem me worthy, give me a deer today to take home, have meat for the family. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit here for a while, see what happens. I did. I prayed a few more times about it. Didn't see nothing. Went walking around 250-acre area where I was at. So pretty big chunk of land. I spent probably a good 4 hours walking this whole thing back and forth, looking through my monocular rangefinder around. The only deer I found was a half-eaten one by coyotes that looked like somebody gut shot it. And it got away from them. They couldn't find it, and it died under some trees. I'm like, you know what? Right there would be a spot where they would probably lay down. Pop over there, found that. But so I didn't see anything at all. Walking back, I got a call from her uncle. I didn't answer it because I'm trying to be quiet in case one's in this little cornfield spot where they planted a bunch of food plots. Nothing popped out, and I see this other guy coming in, so I'm trying to get over there to tell him, hey, there ain't squat here right now. I didn't even see any fresh deer sign anywhere. Didn't hear them. No tracks. No scat. Trying to say the nice word for it.
Right.
No scat around.
Droppings.
Yeah.
Poo poo.
Caca.
Okay. Well, you guys will say the other things. But yeah, saw absolutely nothing. It's like the time before that I heard them grunting, so there were deer in the area, but nobody shot that. Nobody saw it, and then so Sunday no one saw any there. Well, I didn't. I was the only one out there for 4 hours. Didn't see any signs. So got to the truck. She texted me that her uncle shot a deer and wondered if we wanted it. She said, yes, of course, because we needed deer. So I got to thinking.
Just got caught up in the cord.
I got to thinking, I didn't get to shoot one, but one was provided. Mm-hmm. So I did get a deer, but I didn't get it myself. Mm-hmm. It was provided for me. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to her on the phone. I'm like, you know what? If I want to go hunting in this other spot, I could travel to it. Never been there before. And of course, it's still raining. And before I get to the main highway, we're like 4 miles away. I'm like, all right, God, if I should keep hunting, let the rain stop. If it still rains, I'll go home. I get up there, the rain's kind of lightening up, get to the road. It doesn't stop, though. It's still going. So I'm like, all right, got it. I'll go home. And then it picked up again right away as soon as I turned. And then I got to thinking about, man, I just want to go back up there. I just want to go up there and see if I can get something on my own. And then I get these words in my head that said, be grateful for what I provided for you. And I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Going home. We're going to go get that deer. And that's what we did. So that's where, you know what? Jehovah Jireh, he will provide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it may not be exactly what you're asking for. Mm-hmm. But prayer was still answered.
Yeah.
What you need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were driving to Omaha in that rain, and we were praying for you because we knew you were out there looking for a deer, and we were praying that you found one. So glad that you got one.
Yeah.
It's a very roundabout way that God answered that prayer, just like Shawnee was saying.
Yeah, Uncle Dwight's a pretty great guy.
Yeah, he's a really, really nice guy.
He gave us one last year, too.
Yep. We weren't really needing it last year, though, but he still gave it to us.
Well, and having it, though, helped us get to where we are at now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we got to eat some of that deer last night. Did I send you the picture?
You did.
Tenderloin.
It looked fantastic.
Yep, deer tenderloins with sweet potatoes, candied sweet potatoes.
It was very good.
Which is super simple to do candied sweet potatoes. People try to make it real fancy. It's like, okay, dice up all your sweet potatoes, throw it in a pan. Take a stick of butter, cube it up. I do really small, centimeter by centimeter cubes. Sprinkle that throughout all the potatoes, brown sugar on it, and then cinnamon. And then let it cook.
Let's go. Mm-hmm.
Done.
Real super simple.
Yep.
Keep it simple, stupid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Keep it stupid simple.
I mean, you can say that. Keep it. And then the tenderloins I did with just half a stick of butter I put in the cast iron after getting the cast iron hot.
So much better.
Hey, you didn't complain last night. It was delicious.
No, it was really good.
And then just some onion, garlic powder, basic herbs, salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Good old S&P.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then Ronan even liked it so much. He's like, I wish you cooked more. I'm like, there's only 2 per animal, and they're not very long on a deer. Mm-hmm. And then the first chunk of meat you have to pull out of a deer because it will dry out quicker than anything. Mm-hmm. If it's sitting in there for a couple hours, it'll dry out to nothing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Like jerky. Anyone else got some good Jireh stories?
Well, Chris and his job.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great example.
That's good. An awesome provision.
Yeah, because he didn't even apply for that. It just, God's just like, here you go.
Do you want to talk?
It's okay if you don't want to. It's okay if you do.
Yeah, we're not going to force you, son.
But also, if you're not, you got to try and be quiet and keep your feet off the table. Thank you.
Shawnee, you got a good Jireh story?
Oh,
She's making you think of Esther.
I do, but I don't know.
Like a specific one, right? Meow?
Okay, so we've been praying for a second child for years.
Yeah.
And after 2 miscarriages, it was like, it was scary because I didn't know if we were going to get there. And then, like, I have a history in my family on my dad's side of early menopause. And, like, I was afraid I was getting there, too, because I'm in my 30s, and my period kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter. It was, like, 2 days long. And so I was like, I don't know, this might be it. And then he answered our prayer in July. So
That's awesome.
I'm expecting in March. Yay.
And a wee little girl,
Yes.
which I'm terrified about. But yeah,
It's going to be great.
Ronan will be a good big brother.
Yeah.
With as much as she's moving around, I think she's going to be a feisty one.
Yeah. She's very active.
And she's all over the place too.
Yeah.
She's not like Ronan, who is mainly in one area. She's like all over.
Yeah. First she'll be kicking like way down low, and then it's off to the side, and then clear up at the top, and she's all over the place,
And
which is very heartening. Makes me very happy.
Yeah, it took a lot for me to get to the point after our second miscarriage, just to finally just give it up, giving it up to God.
Yeah.
Because you were blaming yourself for a little
Oh,
while.
extremely, because I had the COVID vaccine. I had and there was a lot of people reporting that they weren't able to have kids after that, and they were having lots of miscarriages. So like, I had the shot, you didn't. This is obviously my fault. But then I finally got to a point in my faith where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to give it to God. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. It's up to Him. It's not up to me.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing, I think, when there's something that you really want and it's not, it doesn't even have to be something big. It's just something that you really want, or it's something that you really need. And you know you can't do it, and you know you can't provide it. And then you've got to wait on God, and you're like, I know you're going to provide what I need, but
Yeah.
it's the hardest part. The waiting is the hardest part.
That is why one of my favorite worship songs is Wait on the Lord.
I'm drawing a big blank.
He will renew your strength.
Oh, okay. Maverick City.
I don't know.
They do a version of that, I think,
they?
with Elevation Worship, because they have like
Wait
a
on the
huge big choir.
Lord.
Yeah,
Wait on the Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a big old choir that they do that with. That's a good song.
I don't know if it is them or not.
It
but-
is. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Right, meow.
There was a different one that I remember, but
City. Wait. On the Lord. It's Elevation Worship in Maverick City.
okay, so they do a version of it as
Yeah.
well.
I love when they do their mashups. Elevation Worship in Maverick City.
Yeah.
They're so good. So
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, and so that song got me through a big waiting period of like before
Yeah.
we got pregnant. So
Yeah.
We found out during a children's conference thing, whatever
No.
that was.
it was during the Super Kids camp.
That's what I meant. I can never remember the name of it. The Super Kids camps when we found out. And our nephew was staying with us. I don't know how he didn't figure it out.
I know. It's not like I was trying that hard to hide it.
No. I mean, the test thing was sitting out on the counter, and he didn't get it. He found out a couple months ago, and he's like, "What? You're pregnant?"
Yeah, he
Like,
found out in
yeah.
September.
Oh my gosh.
So not too long ago.
Nope.
That's fun.
And it was pretty funny because we kind of did a family announcement at my mother-in-law's birthday party. And hold on. And he wasn't in the room when that happened, so he didn't find out until like what was it? Was it that night? Or was it
It's when we were at Perkins. It's when he found out.
okay.
So it
later
was
that
while we were
night-
waiting to go to the hospital.
Yeah, Jake's mom went to the hospital after her
We had
party.
to convince her to go. It was bad.
But yeah, that's when he figured it out. I was like, "Wait a minute, you've been here the whole time."
And then you told my uncle without me being there, and I wanted to be part of that.
See, your
Or my
Tammy-
aunt let it slip, and you
Aunt Tammy
clarified.
kind of started to talk about it, and And I was like, wait, that's my news. He was very excited. He was like, yes, a girl.
'Cause we've mainly had boys.
Yeah, there's been a lot of boys on your side of the family.
So yeah, like everyone always tried for a girl that kept popping out boys. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Except for your brother.
Yeah.
He had 3 girls.
All right, Ronan, you wanted to say something real quick?
You want to say something? Hop up here.
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. The game's important. He's playing some kind of zoo thing.
No, I think it's a different game now. Okay.
Just don't be loud. We can hear you just fine.
Here.
Okay? All right.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Go ahead, son. Talk towards the mic.
So I'm really glad that I'm winning all the levels on pipe art and that my mom has been blessed by God with a baby.
Are you going to be a good big brother?
Uh-huh.
Are you excited to be a big brother?
Yep.
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. He's real excited. He doesn't look like it right now. I think he's just kind of nervous about being on the mic there.
It's a little intimidating.
Don't touch it.
What's up, bud?
All right.
Okay. Was that all you wanted to say?
Wolf bolts.
Should we ask you some questions?
What, do you have questions for him?
Do you have questions?
I don't.
Well, I could ask him some of those questions that we did before.
Yeah. So
No, it's
is there a weird smell that you like? Like something that other people might think was a weird smell?
No.
No? No weird smells?
Not really.
Not really.
Except maybe manure.
You like the smell of manure?
Yeah.
It smells like money, right?
Smell of money.
Yeah.
His grandpa's a farmer.
What was one of the other questions?
Who is your favorite teacher and why?
Yeah, who's your favorite teacher that you've had?
Mrs. Krejci, and because she's super funny and she's really fun and she's the best teacher that I could ask for.
That's awesome.
That's very sweet. What about, is there some kind of made up food that you've seen in a movie or a show that you would love to try in real life?
Not really.
Not even green eggs and ham?
No.
No.
Does that look gross?
Nah, it's all yo.
Why don't you talk normal so we can understand you?
Well, he's being himself. He's pretty weird.
Oh, that's true. He is your child.
I am so weird. Oh, yo.
Okay.
Yeah,
boy.
he's just mine.
Ask me some other questions, please.
No, I think that's about it right now.
Do you
I
but
want more questions.
Do you want to ask us any questions?
Ooh, yeah.
what do you got?
What's your favorite movie?
Like cartoon movie or regular movie?
Regular movie. Dad first.
Oh, A Knight's Tale is popping in my head.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I like that one.
Next up, Chris.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You haven't seen it.
I want to watch it.
Okay, we can solve that.
So he's heard.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
about it.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is your turn, Stacy.
Okay. My favorite movie is an animated movie. I can't pick a regular movie. My favorite movie is The Lion King. Hands down.
yeah, that's a good one.
I love that movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
What's your favorite, Mom?
That's a really hard one. I go through phases with different movies that I really like to watch.
I would say the most you've ever watched is Harry Potter movies.
I don't think that's true. That's definitely the most I've listened to on audiobook.
Actually, wait, I changed my mind on what my favorite movie is. My favorite movie is Elemental.
Elemental, the new one on Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I have another question. What's your favorite food?
I like
Okay,
Chicken
actually,
Alfredo.
it's Chris's. turn.
Oh, it's
first.
Chris's turn, not yours, Mom.
I already went.
Forget that.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. Yeah, we had this one a couple of episodes back.
Stacy's
Rona didn't
turn.
listen to it.
I think my favorite food is burgers.
Mom's turn.
Chicken Alfredo.
Dad's turn.
I honestly don't remember what I said.
I don't know if I could tell
Is
you.
it could change.
Tenderloins. And
Well, right now, deer tenderloins are pretty darn
deer
good.
tenderloins and candied sweet potatoes.
Okay, mine would be the deer meat that you cooked last night.
Yeah, that was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
I have more questions.
One more and that's it.
What's your favorite kind of chips? It can be anything related to chips.
Jalapeno cheddar cheese Cheetos.
Salt and vinegar chips.
No, it's supposed to be Stacy's first.
Well, my favorite chips are the Ruffles queso. I think they're queso chips. I think that's what they're called.
Okay, Mom's
I can
turn.
see the bag, but I can't remember the name of them. I think they're queso chips.
Mom's turn.
Salt and vinegar.
Dad's turn.
I already said. Chris, your turn.
You have to say it again, Dad.
Jalapeno cheddar Cheetos.
Chris's turn. He's the
Doritos.
last one.
Doritos.
Which kind of Doritos?
That's straight up nacho cheese.
Oh, okay.
Nacho cheese Doritos.
Mine is
Dun dun dun.
okay.
He's got to think now.
Orange cheddar Cheetos Puffs.
All right. Okay, go back to playing your game.
All right.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for participating.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Rodan.
Something that popped in my head. I think Doritos were originally weren't they started in Disney?
I don't know.
Like the Disneyland had its own chips that they would season, and then eventually they started selling them as Dorito chips because they had too many tortillas.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay, but they had too many tortillas, so they started selling them as chips to the crowd.
Are you Googling it, Chris?
Oh, of course I am.
Okay, then I won't
then
bother
they-
if you're already doing it.
And Doritos came from that.
The concept of Doritos originated at Disneyland at a restaurant managed by Frito-Lay.
Huh.
Interesting.
Did not know that.
I'm full of random things.
1966.
Random things.
Facts. I'm going to change the word from things to facts. Random facts. Whenever are you going to be on the podcast again?
Bark, 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 bark.
Woof, woof, bark, bark.
She looks very happy.
She's not very vocal of a dog.
Bark, bark.
No. Most of our dogs are not.
She looks
Molly is. If there's another animal on TV, she's like, "Ruff, ruff, ruff." I didn't do it, Gwen. Don't stare me down.
She's like, why are you barking at me?
So we'll go back to kind of our topics. I think the false prophet thing, like, what would you say our warning signs would be on that one?
I say that a lot of the biggest warning signs would be somebody who is preaching things that are counter to the Bible. So it could be just slightly off of the scriptures. It could be manipulation of the scriptures, or it could be outright just completely contrary and the opposite of what the scriptures say.
Space Jesus.
Jesus from space. Sorry.
I'm not meaning to be disrespectful, but
There's no space Jesus in the Bible,
right.
but there's certain type of Bible believing people that believe in space Jesus.
I thought you were referring to Anakin.
Oh no. You are the chosen one.
Oh my gosh.
What is this space Jesus that you refer to that is?
Mormon.
Yeah. If you go on like some of their little temple things in churches, there's like a space Jesus thing going on.
Huh.
There's one in Salt Lake City that I saw.
I've read the Mormon Bible. I don't remember them talking about.
Well, it might not be part of the Bible. It might be what they're teaching, though.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Like we talked about not too long ago, that there's people that teach way different, which falls in the false prophet thing.
True.
Yeah.
Teach different than what the Bible reads. So the Bible can read this, but they're teaching this.
Yeah. And another thing that I thought of is the preaching that condones sin.
Yeah.
There are things that are in the Bible that are clearly called sin, and there are churches now that are in an attempt to include everybody, condoning the sin, not loving the sinner, and they're condoning the sin, and that would be false teachings as well.
And I found that interesting where some of those churches that are doing that have been burned by forces of nature, but the Bible survived.
Yeah.
Or the cross survived.
Yeah.
The church itself is gone.
Yeah. There have been instances of that. Yeah. Hand of God.
I think it happened in one of the Hawaii churches in that area that burned.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of red flags, and what that scripture said, that section of scripture that you read, basically said was to watch for the fruit. So if their fruit is rotten, if they're lying, if they're manipulating, if they're twisting the scriptures, condoning sin, being contrary to the Bible, contrary to the nature of God, then that's a false teacher. So.
Or like one of the big televangelists, I won't say his name, but Bull Bobstein is up there, and he's like preaching all the stuff about, helping others, help the less fortunate, yet he's got this giant facility, this fancy mansion, fancy cars, big natural disaster happens, he closes his giant church, won't let anyone in. That Bob Bolstein guy, don't like him very much. If you know who I'm actually talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about, too.
I'm going to see if Gwen needs to go outside.
Okay. Whenever you need to go outside? I think that's a yes. Go with Mom.
From a certain point of view, couldn't Space Jesus be part of Scientology?
I don't think Scientology believes in Jesus at all.
I don't know if they have a Jesus-like figure. I don't know. I haven't looked into Scientology that much.
I think there has something to do with space aliens or something.
Yeah, it's absolutely, There's an entire episode of
South Park.
About it, and it's fantastic.
They have an entire one about Mormonism, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Dum.
Like, I watched a YouTube channel where it was a Mormon family, where the husband and wife were watching it. It's like, oh, yeah, that's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it is. And it was just blowing me away. It's like, because that's stuff that they don't let leak out to other people. Yet South Park was hitting it right on the head.
Oh yeah, Trey Parker wasn't he?
Was a Mormon.
Wasn't he a Mormon? Yeah.
Trey Parker. He's one of the
creators.
One of the creators of South Park. Yeah. Yeah, they did a Broadway show called The Book of Mormon, and it was a musical.
Yep. Dum.
I'm looking up if Scientology has a Jesus figure.
Yeah, I don't know if Scientology has a Jesus figure, but I think they have like weird space beliefs. I don't know.
They do have weird space beliefs. Of course, it was written
They consider Jesus merely a teacher in his time. And they teach that the crucifixion is fictitious, according to Dr. Google.
Yeah. Dr. Google may be correct. Dr. Google may not be correct.
Maybe they don't have a Jesus figure in their belief.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, and I don't really want to dig into Scientology because it's just it gives
it feels
me the willies.
Gross.
Yeah.
Because from what I've seen and read, like when I've seen like looking this up, they have you marry certain people in it. You got to move up certain levels through different like donations financially and all that.
Yeah.
That's why there's some very big stars, a big actor that we've named previously that's a Scientologist.
Yeah.
But no, with Mormonism deal, I think they believe that Satan is Jesus' brother. And that all the bad spirits, they're black people, is what it was originally taught. Yeah. There's a whole thing you can go down on that one.
That's way racist.
Yeah, and then you don't go to heaven, you become a god yourself.
Yeah, I know that. And there's something, if I remember correctly, with Mormonism, it's the men that can become the gods, and then they can, I think, have like planets of women or something.
Right,
There's something just very,
Wrong.
Yeah.
Dum 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 dum.
But it's a huge religion.
Yeah.
Like I almost call that like a separate thing. Like to me, Catholicism and Mormonism are totally separate. Like it's hard to argue, like talk with that with people, but in my view, it seems really separate from Christianity, because Christianity in itself, there's one Godhead, but three parts of that Godhead, and that's what we worship. We don't worship anything else. We don't pray to anyone else.
Yeah, Catholicism, it is where your Protestant Christian denominations came from originally.
Yep.
But I think that depending on the individual Catholics, it can be there's more idolatry with the saints and with praying to the saints. I understand that for some people in the Catholic teaching, they look at it as if they're having a conversation with the saints, and then the saints pray for them. And I understand how I kind of understand how that works. To them, it's no different than asking a living person to pray for them, which I know biblically we're not supposed to, pray to dead people.
Yep. Says it in the Old Testament.
Yeah. So I know that biblically that's not okay. I think that's more of just a misunderstanding and the way it's taught. And since a lot of Catholics don't read their Bibles, and they're not encouraged to read their Bibles unless if they're going into the priesthood, that they would not they would not know that what they're doing is something that in Scripture is not encouraged. So
I know for me, I'd really love to get a Catholic priest on here or something at some point, just so we could kind of get a better understanding. Because, we could read all we want and stuff, but if you're not Catholic, never went through all that, you don't really understand. We just kind of go off what we've seen.
Yeah. One of the podcasts that I listen to, people ask the podcaster about this a lot. And his answer is basically, well, we're not praying to the saints. We're asking the saints to pray for us. And he doesn't believe, from my understanding, he doesn't believe that he can't pray for himself. I know that Dace was saying last week that some Catholics believe that they have to ask the saints to pray for them.
Yeah.
But
I've met a bunch of them.
This particular podcaster believes that he can pray right to God. He can pray right to Jesus. But he also believes that it's okay to pray to the saints, to say, hey, please pray for me, because he doesn't think of it in his own mind as praying to them. It's asking them. It's as if he's having a personal conversation. And I understand that that's what prayer is. But I think in his mind, what he's talking about is he's literally talking to, the saints, and saying, hey, Saint Peter, pray for me, because whatever, So I don't feel comfortable doing that, because we're not supposed to talk to the dead. But at the same time, I can understand how somebody could think that's okay, or,
I'm
I was just going to ask you. You read my mind.
So I can understand how somebody would think that's okay.
See, that's where it throws me off, just because I've read it directly there. Don't talk to the dead. Don't summon the dead. There's one point where Saul did that through what was it? Through a witch, or maybe not a witch, or medium or something.
The Witch of Endor.
Yeah, he went to her and chill out eating so you don't choke, bud.
Yeah.
But he went to her and she summoned the previous king. Right?
She summoned Oh gosh, what was the prophet?
Or was it a prophet? Was it? It wasn't
was-
Elijah.
It was the prophet that came to speak to David. Samuel? Was it Samuel? Was that the prophet?
I'm gonna try to Google
I'll
it.
say Google the Witch of Endor. Saul and the Witch of Endor. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. But I think
Yeah, Samuel.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and she was freaked out because it was actually Samuel.
Yeah, he showed up and she's like, "Who are you?" You know, like freaking out on Saul. Like, why? Who are you? Why did you have me summon this? Don't you know this is? I'm not supposed to do this or something. It was,
Yeah, because she must have been running like a really good scam before, because she summoned him and he actually showed up and she was freaked out.
I wonder what verse that's in.
Yeah,
Because I remember reading that and I was like, "Whoa!"
yeah.
What is the meaning of 28, 27?
1 Samuel 25:1, 28:3.
Yeah.
You found it?
I'm looking at somewhere that told me that. So
The death of Samuel is 25:1. Mine says 28, 6 through 7.
sure.
I'll see if that pulls it up. Try not to breathe too much in the mic. I apologize.
I didn't realize that Endor was.
Okay. It starts off on verse 7 in chapter 28. Yeah, she said Endor. I'm like, Star Wars?
Yeah, I was like,
That's where I first
Ewoks.
went to.
Yes.
That's why I could remember it, because of Star Wars.
It makes sense.
Yep. This here, starting at verse 7, Saul then said to his advisors, "Find a woman who is a medium so I can go ask her what to do." His advisors replied, "There is a medium at Endor." So Saul disguised himself by wearing ordinary clothing instead of his royal robes, because he was king at the time. Mm-hmm. Then he went to the woman's home at night, accompanied by 2 of his men. I have to talk to a man who has died, he said. "Will you call up the spirit for me?" The woman demanded, "Are you trying to get me killed? You know that Saul has outlawed all the mediums and all who consult with the spirits of the dead. Why are you setting a trap for me?" But Saul took an oath in the name of the Lord and promised, "As surely as the Lord lives, nothing bad will happen to you for doing this." Finally, the woman said, "Well, whose spirit do you want me to call up?" "Call up Samuel," Saul replied. When the woman saw Samuel, she screamed, "You've deceived me. You are Saul." "Don't be afraid," the king told her. "What do you see?" "I see a God coming up out of the earth," she said. "What does he look like?" "He is an old man wrapped in a robe." Saul realized it was Samuel, and he fell to the ground before him. "Why have you disturbed me by calling me back?" "Because I am in deep trouble. The Philistines are at war with me, and God has left me and won't reply by prophets or dreams. So I have called for you to tell me what to do." But Samuel replied, "Why ask me, since the Lord has left you and has become your enemy? The Lord has done just as he said he would. He torn the kingdom from you and given it to your rival David." So this is all talking about the King David's upcoming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was freaked out by it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think she was probably a good scammer and had a good scam going,
That'd be my guess.
and yeah. Then she was really freaked out because when she called for him, he actually came, and she's like, "Oh my gosh."
Could you imagine it? Be like, "Ooh, I'll do my crystal ball," and all of a sudden, spirit pops out. "Ah!
Oops.
Yeah.
Get back in there! You didn't come out."
Yeah.
Get back where you came from, or so help me.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, that was a weird tangent. I don't know how we went from Scientology, Mormonism, Catholicism to the witch at Endor.
It's how we were talking about the Catholics and how they pray.
Oh, yeah.
They pray to the dead.
Talk to the dead.
So yeah. Yep. And how we're not supposed to.
There's a movie out there where it's the guy from Gladiator. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now.
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe, where he's like the Pope's exorcist or whatever. I've like pretty much watched all of it on TikTok. It's supposed to be a horror movie, but it's actually pretty darn good. There's one point where the demon's all like, "Oh, your God's not here," and he says it in Latin, and then he responds in Latin saying, "My God is everywhere." And it's like, "Oh, burn!" It sounds so good though in the Latin. I wish I saved it. I think the Bible teacher on TikTok, he did a little clip of that, and then people were freaking out on him. Oh, that's a horror movie. How could you quote that? I'm like, because it's freaking good and telling the truth.
The movie is called The Pope's Exorcist.
Oh,
Is it really called
Yeah.
that?
what a coinky dink.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm like, man,
You
that's
read it somewhere before.
I probably have.
pretty straight up right there.
Funny. That's really funny. That makes me laugh. Gosh.
All right. So I'm trying to think of how we can summarize this episode up, because we just went over how we can kind of like discern a false prophet.
Yeah.
And then also we talked about Jireh,
Yeah.
which is just another name that people have given God, Jehovah Jireh.
God our provider.
Yep.
Yep.
And I have learned that is more true than I could ever think of. When I pray, that's one of the names I use at the same time. Like I'll rattle off everything. I'll be like, so I start off, dear God, like you're writing a letter. Like, dear God, like, hello, my name is Jake. But I'll be like, dear God, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Rapha, Adonai El Roy. So that's God who provides, God who heals, and the God that sees me. Because for some reason, that one's like a big one to me. Like when I read that and understood the story, it's like the God who sees me. I don't know if you know the story on that one. That's, was it with, is that Rachel? Where the servant gets pregnant, has a kid, then she's being real mean to the servant runs off, and then it says the angel of the Lord's, that's Jesus, shows up and says, you will have many nations coming from your child. Then she called him Adonai El Roy, God who sees me. Which I thought, to me, that's a big one, because it's like you are seen no matter how low you are on the totem pole. Mm-hmm. God does see you and sees what's going on. So I always use that when I pray too. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's many names. Many meanings behind the names.
Yeah.
Anyone got any other summaries for this podcast or any final thoughts? I think we're over an hour and a half right now, and it's pretty late. We just for everybody out there, we decided to do a podcast tonight on a Wednesday at 7:50 is when we started ish.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
Ronan
Because-
said he has something he wants to say.
Well, we're not done yet.
So, does
Pretty soon.
want to say something to summarize?
But we decided to do this for everybody so they had something, because we love you guys. Ronan, you said you had something final to say here. Is it not loud, or is it normal talking?
Make it really good.
Okay, give us a word here. Not the bird, and a bird and a word. You can say it in the mic. Oh, he needs the headphones.
He wants the headphones.
Oh, that one's backwards, but that'll work. There you go.
There you go. Your hair. Okay.
I want everyone to say this Bible verse.
Oh, is this gonna be John 3:16? But which version?
Okay, say the version you know.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, for whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16.
Yay! Hollywood been so proud of you right there.
Right.
Awesome.
And then to finish that off, which I think is important, God sent his Son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through him. And I don't think enough preachers preach on that verse. Because then people think, oh, God's judging me, Jesus is judging me. The very next verse after what my son just said is God sent his Son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through him.
Yes.
Yay.
And once you realize that and understand that, it's going to change your life fully.
Yep.
True.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Chris, I think that's about it.
Sounds grand.
You want to lead us out in one of your epic prayers?
As always, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings that you bring upon us, and please help families get along in the next 24, 48 hours. In the holy and blessed name, amen.
Amen to that one. Hopefully there's no fights out there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. We are on YouTube, TikTok, Audible, Rumble, Spotify, Apple, Podbean. I meant not podcast, Podbean. We're all over the place.
Be kind.
Okay, be kind. Love you guys. Thank you for listening, watching. We'll see you later.
I love playing on my iPad.
Bye.
Bye.